today I'm going to give away a free t-shirt, bring you a comic hero throwdown, a showdown fight, bring you comics news, and reveal the books I bought this week. How y'all doing? I'm Victor, and you are watching the Comic Hero Show. Now kick that logo! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Dudley, and I am the Comic Hero. This month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. Now, domestic violence is violence or abuse upon one person coming from another in domestic settings, such as a marriage or cohabitation. And domestic violence is also a crime, folks. As a matter of fact, it is one of the most unreported crimes in the world. Not just here in the States, but throughout the world. And commonly, it's when a man hurts women. And sometimes domestic violence, it doesn't have to be physical. Sometimes it can be verbal. Sometimes it can be mental. But either way it's enforced, it's wrong. And I personally know both victims and survivors of domestic violence. And my heart goes out to the families of the victims, and my heart goes out, and my heart also goes out to the survivors. But to the survivors, though, I know sometimes it can be hard to consider yourself a survivor, because even though you're no longer with the person that hurt you, it's kind of hard to, I can only imagine how hard it is to relive that every day. But just know that, there are better days ahead, and you're gonna get through this. Just hang in there. All right, this is a domestic violence comic hero tee, and inside the speech bubble are some heads up. That's my way of saying to stop domestic violence. And then here's the ribbon. Now, if you personally know someone who is on the receiving end of domestic violence, you have a voice. Or even if you see domestic violence, you have a voice. Now, what I mean by that is, whatever you do not try to get in the middle of it. I have known folks that have gotten in the middle of it, and it cost their lives. What you can do, though, is call the police. Let them know what's going on, because here's the thing: the police can't turn you down if it's a crime, and that's what domestic violence is. It's a crime. If you see something, say something. It's just that simple. All right, it's time to give away a free t-shirt. All right, on last week's episode, I asked, Black Panther made his debut in Fantastic Four number 52. What year did this issue come out? Now, I gave some hints on social media. The first hint was that Janet Jackson was born in this year. The second hint was that Walt Disney died in this year. The third hint was that shows like The Monkees, Dark Shadows, the Batman TV series, and the original Star Trek series all debuted in this year. And the last hint I gave for all you sports fans out there, Texas Western, or as they're known as now, the University of Texas at El Paso, or UTEP, won the national championship in this year by defeating top-ranked Kentucky. Well, the correct answer is 1966. And 5 people have answered correctly, and because they've answered correctly, their names have been entered in a drawing for a free tee. And that drawing takes place right now. So, the winner of the free tee for this week's episode of the show is Donna Bailey from Eros, Louisiana. So congratulations, Donna. Win yourself a free comic hero tee. Alright, here's the question for next week's episode, and this is a Daredevil question. True or false? Daredevil has only worn red costumes. I'll repeat it again because I kind of messed up. True or false? Daredevil has only worn red costumes. Everyone who answers correctly will be in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. Alright, now D'Angelo Ballou for Youngstown, Ohio, the birthday boy, has requested a Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown fight, and this one features a DC stalwart going up against a video game character in the fighting scene. Representing DC, we have the Hal Jordan Green Lantern. And representing Mortal Kombat, we have Triborg. These two are going to duke it out in a segment I like to call
The Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown.
Welcome to the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Today, it's the Hal Jordan Green Lantern versus Triborg. Hal Jordan, like all Green Lanterns, possesses a power ring that grants him uniform, flight, force field, space travel, generation of heart-like constructs, and real-time translation of all languages. Triborg is extremely powerful and quick, as he can punch an opponent multiple times within the span of 2 seconds. He is special, however, as he is able to switch between the bodies of Sector, Cyrax, Smoke, and Cyber Sub-Zero. With Sector's body, he gains missiles, flamethrower, and teleporting abilities. With Cyrax, he has bombs, net, and buzzsaw. With Smoke, he gains a spear, smoke bombs, and teleporting abilities. Lastly, with Cyber Sub-Zero, he gains ice-themed cybernetic weapons and some of Sub-Zero's iconic moves. Who will win? Triborg would start off by punching Jordan in the face multiple times in a 2-second span. Jordan would then create constructs of heat-seeking missiles. Despite his speed, Triborg is unable to dodge them at his hit. Triborg then switches over to his smoke form. He teleports behind Jordan and attempts to gun him from behind with a spear, but Jordan quickly dodges the attack, creates a heart-like construct of a pair of scissors, and cuts Triborg's spear in half. Jordan then judo throws Triborg. Triborg then converts to his Cyber Sub-Zero form. Just as he does this, Jordan nods his head. The reason? You'll soon find out. Triborg freezes Jordan in a block of ice. Triborg then hears the voice that says, "Finish him." Just as he's about to, he succumbs to a mysterious virus and is left in a frozen state. This is because of the efforts of the alien housefly Green Lantern, Buzzed. His stinger carries a strong lethal venom, which, in his own words, is strong enough to stop a Thungarodian Iron Beast. Buzz then unfreezes Jordan, and Jordan creates a construct of a force field and encases Triborg in it. The Hal Jordan Green Lantern, with an assist by Buzzed, wins. And that concludes this fight on the Comic Hero Throwdown Showdown. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed that fight. I'll have another fight for next week. Now it's time for Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics! Alright, there are 3 things we're going to talk about in this segment of Comically Speaking, and the first one is the news of the first guest coming to Louisiana Comic-Con in March, and that is none other than voice actor extraordinaire Kevin Conroy. Now, some of y'all are probably wondering, who's Kevin Conroy, or who did he play the voice of? Well, I'll tell you. He is the greatest, well, in my opinion, the greatest voice actor for Batman. He started playing the voice of Batman on Batman, the animated series that premiered in 1992, as well as the follow-up to that, the all-new Batman Adventures, and then later Batman Beyond. And he also played the voice of Batman on Justice League and Justice League Unlimited, as well as some animated features such as Batman Mask of the Phantasm, Batman Sub-Zero, Batman Mystery of the Batwoman, and also Superman, Batman, Public Enemies. And my opinion, greatest voiceover for Batman. And I want to go ahead and tell this. Whenever I read an issue of Batman or Detective Comics or any other book that he may be in, I have a bad habit of, when I read any book, I have a bad habit reading out loud. But whenever I read a book that he's in, I usually use my Kevin Conroy Batman voice. I mean, when Batman the Animated Series first premiered in '92, there was just something about his voice that, it was like, I mean, he had this very dry, like, gritty voice, and right away, I, as well as a lot of folks, fell in love with him in terms of his voice, and can't wait to meet him at Louisiana Comic-Con. Hope to do so. I'll have to get an interview with him, and hopefully I'll be able to do an episode of the show there. Hopefully, for those of y'all who don't know, I tried to do an episode last year, but they let me bring the camcorder in, but they wouldn't let me bring the tripod in because of a quote unquote safety risk. Whatever. All right, the second thing, in Phase 4 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, Spider-Man is reportedly going to develop a crush on Captain Marvel. Now I know that some of y'all don't like Captain Marvel. You don't like the character on the big screen. You don't like the character in the comics, and you don't like Brie Larson. There's something I want to say about that a little later on. Now you're probably wondering, Vic, what about MJ? Well, we all know that the romance between Spider-Man and MJ was strong in Spider-Man Far From Home, but they're trying to incorporate something that actually happened in the comics. And now you're probably wondering, what about Spider-Man and Mary Jane in the comics? Well, there was a story arc called One More Day, which was a follow-up to the Marvel miniseries entitled Civil War that was out from 2006 to 2007, where Aunt May ends up getting fatally shot by a sniper, and the only way to prevent her from dying was for Spider-Man and Mary Jane to give up their marriage to Mephisto, which he does. In other words, they made a deal with the devil in order for Aunt May to live, and it cost them their marriage. And their marriage was wiped away from the Marvel timeline, and they were seeing different people. He started seeing characters like Carly Cooper and Dr. Anna Maria Marconi, and briefly before he met Anna Maria Marconi. Oh, by the way, that was pretty much thanks to Dr. Octopus. Before that happened, he briefly dated Captain Marvel, or Carol Danvers. Oh, by the way, Spider-Man also briefly dated Mockingbird. Just saying. But anyway, I guess they're incorporating that to the comics. Now, here's what I want to say in terms of Captain Marvel. Now, I know some of y'all don't like the comic book character. I know some of y'all don't like the Captain Marvel character on the big screen. I know some of y'all don't even like Brie Larson, and I know some of y'all don't even like the comic book character anymore because of the way she was portrayed in the movie. All I have to say about that is that you're entitled to your own opinion. I happen to like the comic book character, the character on the big screen, and Brie Larson, and that's my opinion. And, it's high time that we just need to stop allowing our opinions to be facts. Opinions are opinions. Case closed. And because of that, we need to respect each other's opinions instead of ripping each other and wanting to tear each other limb from limb. Let's be civilized. Let's be factual. Let's just respect each other. I'll say that. All right, the last thing. Now, I was kind of hoping for Eddie Redmayne from Fantastic Beasts to get this role, but unfortunately, he did not. Actor Paul Dano has been casted in the Batman as the Riddler. Now, y'all probably wondering who Paul Dano is. He's an actor that's been on the scene for about 20 years. But 4 notable movies that he was in are Little Miss Sunshine, There Will Be Blood, Ruby Sparks, and Love and Mercy. And now, out of those 4, I've seen Little Miss Sunshine, and I remember his role. He played he played the brother in the movie, and I thought he was pretty good. And he has the look that looks sinister enough to play the Riddler. He has this smug look about himself, and I think he can, in which the Riddler pretty much possesses in the comics. And I think that he's going to do an exceptional job. So. Paul Dano is the Riddler in the Batman. Alright, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now let's get to the comics I bought this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Alright, first up is Absolute Carnage number 4. Aquaman number 53. Batman number 81. Captain America number 15. Captain Marvel number 11. Guardians of the Galaxy number 10. Justice League number 34. Metal Men number 1. Teen Titans number 35. And finally, and I'm so excited about this book, X-Men number 1. Alright, that's 10, which brings the total number of comics that I bought since December of 1997 to 9,661. Alright, well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Here's a question again for a free tee for next week's episode of the show. True or false? Daredevil has only worn red costumes. Everyone who answers correctly been entered in a drawing for a free tee on next week's episode of the show. And congratulations to Donna Bailey from Eros, Louisiana, who won a free tee on this week's episode. Now, again, to all survivors of domestic violence, I know that I can't even imagine what y'all go through on a daily basis. I mean, some of y'all are doing better, and that's great. But then there are some that have to relive the pain that was inflicted upon them. And my heart goes out to y'all. And here's the thing that a lot of folks don't know. Now domestic violence, commonly it's when usually women are on the receiving end, but there are also instances where men can be on the receiving end. And my heart goes out to y'all. And just know, just know that better days are coming. Just hang in there. And I know that some of y'all aren't ready to hear this, but even though y'all are still hurting, you're not victims anymore. You're survivors. and also my heart goes out to all the families of those that were victims of domestic violence. I can't even imagine how difficult. I mean, I know what it's like not having when someone is no longer physically there, and I personally know some folks that not only were victims of domestic violence, but also tried to get in the middle of it, and it cost their lives. And I mean, there just really are no words to describe that. I mean, none at all. And someone once asked me, why do I raise awareness of such causes? And the answer is simple. It's because I care about people. I love people, and I want to let them know that everything is going to be okay. And I just can't sit idly by and allow folks to hurt when I can use my voice and this show as a platform to inspire them, to encourage them that adversity is temporary. And that's what life's about. If you're not helping people, then you're not really living. If you're not letting somebody know that everything is going to be okay, you're not living. And that's something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life. I'm going to inspire people to be encouraged, to let others know that adversity is temporary. All right. Sorry. It's just that I love life. I love living. I love helping people. That's just the way I was brought up, and that's the way that I want to live for the rest of my life. And sometimes, when I think about helping someone, whether it's like small things like holding doors open for folks, or making sure that like elderly people make it safely across the street, or anything like that, or just little things. It's a very fulfilling thing, because when you're a blessing to someone, you'll be blessed. You'll soon be blessed, and that's just me, and that's the way I want it, and that's the way I'm going to be for the rest of my life. All right. On a much lighter note, this weekend is Geeks Along the River. It's at the Monroe Downtown Market. It's from 10 to 4, and the weather is supposed to be great for that. And I'm saying that because I've been talking about this for weeks, but this is my first con, and that's pretty much what Geeks Along the River is. It's a con. It's my first con as a vendor and a guest. I've been to the first two Geeks Along the River as a spectator in 2016 and 2017, and then even though I didn't go last year because I had recently moved back here, Geeks Along the River, I mean the attendance has gotten bigger, and just bigger and better. And for all of you music fans out there, the Mitch Lang Band will perform, and they're going to perform songs based on the first two albums, and also their upcoming third album, which is based on the manga and anime series Naruto. So come on out, support them, support me, and support anyone who any other vendor or guest that's going to be at Geeks Along the River. All right, I'm Victor Dudley. I'm the Comic Hero. I'll see you next week. I'll see you this weekend, rather, for Geeks Along the River, and I'll see you next week for episode 282. So until then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero!
Bye.